everybody, I'm Dodger.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are in San Diego right now for Comic-Con / Nerd HQ / everything. And we figured that we would put up a video as kind of a supplement for Swords and Stitches, but we're actually going to talk about the last project, the Ring project, because there were lots of concerns and lots of discussion that happened on the video. And we figured we could address some of those things and talk about the suggestions you guys had and suggestions that we had as well.
And I thought it was really great that there was a lot of conversation about how to improve things and things that could be potentially dangerous. Like a lot of people brought up what materials are these rings made out of and possible toxic materials, which I think was important and something that we hadn't even really thought of.
We hadn't thought about that at all.
But you know, after giving it some thought, most things that are coins are going to be, they're meant to be handled by people, right? They're meant to like come into contact with people's skin a lot. Maybe not as much as a ring, but frequently enough that it wouldn't make any sense to use a toxic metal.
Yeah, no one's gonna make something into a coin that's gonna poison you.
Yeah,
you know,
unless you're a jerk. And if somebody's trying to poison you with coins, making rings is probably not your biggest concern.
Should we
wait for the siren?
The police. Another thing that's kind of adjacent to that idea that I can't believe I didn't think of is allergies to metals, because I'm allergic to most metals. But something that you can do, there are pro jeweler sort of things that you can buy where you paint it onto your jewelry and it creates kind of a barrier between the skin and the jewelry. So you can buy those, but honestly, when I was a kid, what we did is we would just paint all of my earrings and my rings and necklaces with clear nail polish. And it does the exact same job. It helped so much. You just paint it on and you let it dry. And if it starts to irritate you, you paint it on again. So that's an option for that.
And that was also suggested in the comments, because I didn't know that. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm only allergic to bananas. So there were a lot of concerns that the sort of, I guess, the startup costs, you know, the tools were kind of expensive.
Yeah.
For instance, the punch and die set, I got at Harbor Freight. It was like 30 bucks. And you know, it's a pretty specific thing actually beyond ring making. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for.
Yeah, like what else do you use a punch and die set? I completely understand you guys being like, why would I buy that?
But you know, in lieu of a punch and die set, you could use a power drill. We tried it. It was a little bit harder and it took a little longer and it wasn't
It's really hard to stabilize. Like it's hard to keep it in one place and the hole is pretty messy. Like no matter what you do, it's not gonna be like a clean cut like with a punch and die set.
You can file it down, right?
Yeah.
What else? Tool-wise, nylon hammer, right?
Nylon hammer, yes. Nylon hammer was another thing that we brought up that we wanted you to get for this project, but you can just use a regular hammer that you have at home. The problem is that it's gonna mar the surface. It's not gonna keep it as clean and beautiful looking, but I mean, metal on metal is gonna work.
It's gonna work faster
it's gonna work faster. It's gonna be very effective. It's just not gonna give you that clean, beautiful ring shape that you want. But something that was suggested in the comments, and again, thank you guys so much for having so many suggestions and being so insightful and intelligent and wonderful, was taking a washcloth and putting that on top of the hammerhead and then putting like a headband or a rubber band or anything around it to hold it in place, and that'll give you a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah. You could also wrap it in leather.
You can wrap it in leather if you want it to look really
weird, I don't know.
Assassin's Creed-y.
Or pleather, I'll get a pleather hammer. The final tool concern was the ring mandrel, which is like super specific, even more specific than a punch and die set. But one commenter said you could maybe use a rod, and if you could find a rod that's the same size as your finger, then great. You know, you'd make a bunch of rings.
Yeah.
The way I kind of look at it is it's like, it's a $15 tool, but if you think of it in terms of like how much fun you're gonna have making rings, you know, and I like making things, so if you make 10 rings, that's like, what is that, like $1.50 a ring plus a quarter, it's like $1.75.
Don't do math. We're going to be so wrong on this.
Well,
everybody's going to correct us.
You divide it by the amount of fun you're having, you know, and it's not like a consumptive product where like you use it once. You know, you can make a ton of rings, right? Yeah. And every ring is going to be fun and you're going to improve. It's sort of like a game with really high replay value, you know, like there's no level cap, right? Like you can keep making rings and getting better at making rings.
Totally. It's like you played this really linear game and at the end you're like, I'm going to go back and play that again, you know?
Because the payoff is that I get a lot better. I don't know, maybe this analogy is...
It's a good metaphor. No, stick with it.
Okay, but you know, because that's how I look at this DIY stuff. It's like, sure, you could go out and buy a better looking ring or cheaper tool. I don't know, something, right? That's different. But the idea is that it's also very fun to do, at least
Right.
for me.
You learn a new skill. Yeah.
Yeah, and
like
you
I know that the ring that I made in that episode could be better. And rather than being kind of like upset about that, I like knowing that the tools that we got for this project are all reusable.
Yeah.
Nothing that we got for this project is something that we can't use to make yet another ring. You can make thousands of rings and still have all of these things.
Yeah.
So if, making a bunch of rings is your plan, you should just get the right tools, especially the ring mandrel, because it helps you actually size it.
Yeah.
You can make sure it's going to fit whoever is going
Make
to wear
presents
it.
for your loved ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass my ring mandrel on to my children. So, also if you don't want to buy a ring mandrel, maybe somebody will pass a ring mandrel on to you. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe your father or mother has a ring mandrel that they've been waiting
To give to someone an aspiring
to give
jewelry.
to someone in the family. They just know someone out there will appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those were kind of the ideas and suggestions that we saw the most. And thank you guys again for helping us out and for enjoying our videos and watching them and all of that. And we hope that you enjoy the other ones in the future. I kind of feel bad that there's like no tutorial in this though.
Oh, well, I could make a ring out of $1.
Yeah, do that.
Okay,
Let's
here we
do
go,
that.
All right, here we go. So yeah, you go like that,
Right?
and then you go like that,
Okay.
and then you gotta find the middle, and you go like that,
Okay.
and then you fold these into the thing.
Into the
like
middle,
that,
okay,
yeah.
right.
And then that'll let you find the quarter part, and then you fold one to the quarter part, like that.
Oh man, okay.
And then you remember that where that is, to make that real good. Then you fold this in. Oh wait, I just did that. Okay, then you fold this into the middle. Then you fold that like that. I look like David Blaine right now, I bet, right?
Yeah, you're doing some magic.
Right.
Doing some DIY
Right.
magic.
So then you do that to find that. You make that crease real good.
Right,
Then
right.
what you do is you fold these in like that. I don't know what this is called. Mountain fold? No, it's probably not mountain fold.
It's not the mountain food.
Mountain fold. Then you fold this up. Then you do the same. You find that third spot. Do this. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Then you do it's kind of a mountain fold. You do that. Right. And you open this back
I'm excited
up.
about the payoff
Right?
of this.
Right.
Right?
And you
Right?
fold this in there like that.
Okay.
Fold that in there like that.
Uh-huh.
Fold that in there like that. Make this real nice. All right. And you fold that in there like that.
Right.
Tuck this into here.
Okay.
This could, I don't know what size it's gonna be. Could be like thumb size. Tuck that ring into that. Tuck that into that. Right.
What is that?
All right, and then here we go. We go like that. Make a thumb ring like that.
Oh
Puff that up.
yeah.
There you go.
Dollar ring.
Okay. Take care, guys.